What's so great about North Dakota? I mean, you've lived in all these different places. What do you like so much about it? I actually love the weather. But really what's great about Bismarck is there's a lot of big chain restaurants. You name it, Bismarck has it. Hey, this is Corey McLindsey with Venture Real Estate, and today I am going to talk to you about the 5 things to love about Bismarck. Now, how this came up is I was talking to an old friend of mine on the phone. I grew up in Northern Illinois. I grew up in the Midwest, but kind of moved all around, and I lived in Missouri, I lived in Arizona, lived in Minnesota, so all over the place. And, you know, he was kind of asking me, well, what's so great about North Dakota? I mean, you've lived in all these different places. What do you like so much about it? And I do love where I live. I love Bismarck. I think it's an awesome place. And so I kind of thought about that for a minute. I'm just going to give you 5. I could give you a ton of things that I love to do and things I love to experience in North Dakota, but I'll just give you 5 quick things, okay? So number 1, I actually love the weather. I think it's awesome. I love that there are 4 distinct seasons. You know, when I lived in Arizona, that was actually my biggest complaint about living in Arizona, is that I felt like there was never an off switch. Life just kind of kept going day after day after day, and there was never like a break in the weather, which offered like a natural break in sort of the pace of life. And here, especially in like the winter time, if you got 9 inches of snow on one day and there's a snow day, well, guess what everyone's doing? We're gonna sit at home, we're gonna watch a movie, turn on the fireplace, watch the snowfall, and it offers this really natural break where the world just kind of stops for a little bit. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. So, and in the springtime, springs are, I mean, let's just be real. Springs are actually relatively short here. They're beautiful, but they're short, and then it goes right into summer. But summers are so nice and warm and mild, and the days get really long, so you can soak up a lot of fun activities to do. So actually, true story, I just took my kids to Raging Rivers today, which is an awesome place. It's just actually in Mandan, and it's a great place to take the kids. An awesome like splash pad section for the kids, a lazy river. There's some really great water slides, but my kids love it. We were there for 3.5 hours. I'm gonna have a sunburn. So it was fun. But okay, moving on to number 2, Bismarck actually has some really great food. Now, we have all of your big chain restaurants like your, you know, Texas Roadhouse and your, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings, and we have all those kinds of restaurants. But really what's great about Bismarck is there's a lot of family-owned places that are really fantastic. When you think of family-owned, you don't think of places that really are great, but they are awesome. We have 3 Mexican restaurants in town, all family-owned, that are like the best Mexican food. So good. And this is one of my favorites. We have a brewery in town called Laughing Sun that, I mean, you go there for a really fun night. Throw axes, listen to live music, have like the best barbecue, and have a brew. It's an amazing night. But that's one of my favorite things about Bismarck as well, is the food. And it's not just like American or Mexican food. Basically anything you're looking for you can find. We have awesome Thai food, we have good Indian food, we have sushi. I mean, you name it, Bismarck has it. So the second thing to love about Bismarck is definitely the food. Hey, if you're thinking about moving to Bismarck, I have just the thing for you. It is a free relocation guide. It's a bunch of information that I put together to make it easier for you to learn more about Bismarck Mandan. The link of it should be in the description below or pinned to the top comment, one of the two. Hopefully you'll find it useful. If you have any other questions, reach out. Thanks. Number 3, this kind of goes without saying, but the Midwest nice is a real thing, and it's very real in Bismarck. My perception of Bismarck is that people are really honest, hardworking people, and they actually care about each other and the community. I have found that a lot of families here are generational families. So, you know, if they live in Bismarck, odds are good their grandparents lived in Bismarck or they're from the surrounding areas. So it seems like it's natural that you would really care about the place that you're from and making it your own and making it good. And I think that's a big difference between what I'll call a big little town like Bismarck. If you're from Chicago or New York or some really big metropolitan area, I think somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like, somebody else built that. This is someone else's town. It's not really my responsibility to make it great. But if you live in Bismarck, I think you have a sense of pride and ownership in where you live. And so people make this area great. So anyway, that's another thing that I really love about the area. Number 4, The school system here is great. Bismarck Public Schools does a fantastic job. I know that a lot of the schools are top-rated schools, and then we have some private schools as well. Shiloh Christian School is another really popular school, and then St. Mary's Catholic Schools, Light of Christ Schools. Awesome school system. My kids actually go to that, and the school system here is fantastic. Again, with the big little town that Bismarck is, people know each other and they know where people go to school. And again, people take pride in where they go to school. And therefore, I think the school system is good because the people are good. So that's number 4. Number 5, there is just a lot to do in Bismarck, like a large amount of things to do. The landscape offers some really good things. We're right on the river, so you can eat food along the river, or go boating, or go fishing, or go kayaking. We have places to hike and bike and run. There are a lot of gyms in Bismarck as well. So if you like CrossFit, we have 3 CrossFit gyms. We have like a dedicated bodybuilding gym. There's the YMCA, which is awesome. We have basically any kind of fitness that you can imagine. So there's just so many things to do. And as a bonus, if you don't like any of the things to do in Bismarck, well, we have an airport. So you can get out of here and go someplace else that you want to go. But nonstop flights to Arizona, nonstop flights to Florida, nonstop flights to Minneapolis and Denver, and you can get to pretty much wherever you want to go pretty easy. So anyway, those are a handful of things to really love about Bismarck. I love it here, and if you're thinking about making a move here, I think you'll love it too. You can reach out to me directly, and I'll walk you through the whole process. Thanks so much.